name. We might as well start with the heroes.
Alright, they have quite a few named heroes.
Yeah, they have got a named hero for most of their special types of units. So they'll have like a Corsair, etc.
Yeah, okay. Starting with Shadowblade, I really don't like him.
The named assassin. Pretty much, he has all of the poisons in one.
Yeah, so that's his big thing. That's his thing. He's also got more weapon skill and ballistic skill, which is kind of redundant. He's 10s.
Okay, so he went from 9 to 10.
He went from 9 to 10.
Can't get initiative higher than 10, so he's still there.
He has the Dance of Doom, which is similar to the Skaven thing. It's a 5+ ward save. It's not the 4+, but I mean, at least he has a ward.
Yeah, it's not a 4+ that the Skaven get for all of their assassins.
So he's... Oh man, he's expensive though. He is significantly more expensive than a regular assassin.
He's the same price as he's more than a level 4 wizard.
So, I mean, what you're paying for here is the ability to take all 3 Venoms. One of them, it's like the -3 leadership. Don't really care about it. So, you're paying for all 3 Venoms. He has, his special thing is he can move to which unit he's in. Even if he's, like, revealed
That's not too bad.
Yeah, if he's revealed by something that forces you to say, hey, what's in this unit, he doesn't even have to tell you. Like,
okay,
he can
change. Remain hidden?
Yeah, he can remain hidden. He changes every turn if you really want to.
He's really hidden.
He's really super hidden.
And he can move units? Is that what you're saying?
No, he can move between units easily, even if they're on the other side of the board.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, he can move between units before he's been deployed?
Well,
or is it after he's been deployed?
Yeah, Shadowblade can deploy using the hidden special rule, which we went over. Like a K-Knight Assassin. If he does so, he can change which unit he is hiding in at the start of any movement or close combat phase.
So including your opponents.
Yeah.
So if it looks like would be advantageous to put him into a close combat, or it would be not, you can change the unit.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to get charged. I'll put him there.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the thing.
Yeah.
But still.
And then, of course, anything that would normally reveal you, you can choose to just...
Ignore.
Hey, you can say, hey, I have Shadowblade. That's all you have to say.
Shadowblade.
Yeah. You only need to say that Shadowblade is hiding within a unit. So you still have to say you have him if it's a closed list or whatever.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all he gets. You can put him anywhere. And magic items. He has... I really don't like this one. This is the Counting on Dying item. Enchanted item. If Shadowblade is ever slain, center the small round template over him before removing the model as a casualty. Every model touched by the template, including your own guys.
And he deploys in your units.
Touched by the template immediately suffers a strength 3 hit. After any damage has been resolved, remove him as a casualty as normal. So it's just...
It's a strength 3 template. I mean,
yeah, it's like, Counting on Dying.
And he's supposed to be killing, like, your nastiest things that your enemy has. That's what an assassin is for. And it's just like, oh, take a strength 3 hit.
Take a strength 3. You better take that strength 3 hit.
Yeah.
And then he has a potion, which is just... It's an improved potion of strength. It's the potion of diabolic strength. It can be drunk at the start of any close combat phase. Oh, that's the better thing, though.
Yeah,
it can be started at any player's close combat phase.
After assassins have been revealed.
Yeah, after assassins have revealed that they are hiding in a unit. Shadowblade does +4 strength to a maximum of 10 until the end of the turn. So that is something. If you really need to kill something, he should be able to do it, but he's also really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's a hero.
Yeah,
he is the most expensive hero.
He's actually more expensive than our next hero, which I was actually complaining about the price about.
Yeah, Lokhir.
But so yeah, moving on to Lokhir, the guy with the silly Kraken mask, which looks cool. I say silly because
I like it.
It looks cool.
He's the Corsair hero.
He's the Corsair hero. I might as well just go.
He's actually significantly more defensive than the Shadowblade.
Yeah. So he has. Let's see. Oh yeah, doesn't he have a 2-up armor save? Heavy armor Sea Dragon. And he has the Helm of the Kraken, which is an extra 1. So yeah,
he's got a 2+ armor save, and the Helm of the Kraken gives him a 4+ regen.
Yeah, so he's very defensive. He has a special rule, Daring Leap. Unless fighting in a challenge, Lokhir Fellheart can direct his close combat attacks against any enemy character model who is fighting in the same combat, even one that he's in not base contact with. This guy can technically attack lands if he wants to.
Yeah, it has potential. You're paying a lot for it. They very much value that ability because he doesn't have too much else to justify his points cost.
Other than he's very, very defensive.
Yeah,
well, he's still toughness 3,
you can still get that better and cheaper.
Yeah.
On like a regular hero.
Yeah. Hell, you could get it on a Dreadlord and still be cheaper than this guy.
Yeah, he has. He also has Eternal Hatred. He's one of the few ones.
Yeah, he's. No, he does not have Eternal Hatred.
Who was it that had?
It's Malekith.
Okay. Yeah.
I think the Executioner guy. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
But Also, if an enemy unit breaks from close combat that includes Lokhir Fellheart, all units taking panic tests as a result of that unit breaking suffer a -1 penalty to their leadership value for that test. So if he manages to break someone and somebody takes a panic test, they have to take it on -1.
Yeah, it's another part of the leadership bombing. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of synergy.
There's a lot of different things where you can bomb their leadership and have things panic.
Yeah. Whether or not it's worth it, though, especially because they do value it very, very highly. You're paying a lot for it, but especially for that leap. Like, the leap has extreme potential to attack things that somebody doesn't want you to attack. Because it doesn't specifically say that character... It has it's another character in that combat, right?
Yeah, any character model who is fighting in the same combat. So anything in the second rank, even.
Yeah, because they...
Or just even on the other side of the unit.
Yeah, if they can attack his unit, then he can attack them. And so you can actually attack characters without challenging them and actually make way away from them so they can't attack him. And he's already fairly defensive, so it's unlikely he's going to die to trash. And you can keep him away from things that would kill him. He has blades that allow him to reroll wounds.
Yeah, that's his magic weapons. It's paired weapons, any hits, reroll, fail to wound.
So he'll have 4 attacks. He has 4 attacks. The thing about him is he's strength 4 and he has 4 attacks. That's
it.
That's it.
He has nothing more than that.
He can attack whatever he wants. It's about giving him buffs. If you're going to take this character, you have to buff up his attacks and strength, or just his strength at the very least, so that he can kill stuff. It really will punish anybody that's not smart enough to move their wizard out of a unit when he's around.
Yeah, because he will probably kill that wizard.
Yeah, which is...
But I mean, if you're
that can be worth it, because it does encourage people to get their wizards out of a unit, and you are going to have a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can be worth it, but...
Yeah, I mean, you could, if you really wanted to counter Slan, although he's almost as much as a Slan. He can attack the Slan, it would probably take him 3 turns to break that
Yeah,
thing,
without any buffs, he's going to take forever to kill that Slan.
Yeah, and his last thing, his magic armor, again, +1 to his armor save, regeneration, and it actually gives him terror.
Yeah, so there's another form of terror.
Yeah.
And then, what's the next one?
Let's see, Kouran Darkhand. I think there's actually an order.
Yeah, that's that guy. The Captain of the Blackguard.
The Captain of the Blackguard.
Captain of the Failguard.
This is your Dark Elf Phoenix Guard hero sort of thing.
If he's a Captain of the Blackguard, he's at least stubborn. So, I mean, it's a free stubborn hero.
Yeah, so he's the one with eternal hatred, because of Blackguard habit.
Blackguard.
Immune to psychology, again, Blackguard habit.
Yeah.
Stubborn. Stubborn is good because you don't have to put him in the Blackguard unit. You
Yeah,
can put
you
Stubborn
absolutely
in
do
a
not.
better unit.
What does he have for, points-wise? How bad is he?
He's not too expensive.
He's not terrible.
He's not amazingly expensive.
He's still double the points of a regular hero.
This is true, but what are his special rules? That's what makes a named hero.
Yep.
Yeah, if Kouran Darkhand is in a unit of Blackguard, he and all models in that unit have Unbreakable. So
That's the only reason to take Blackguard.
to make them unbreakable, they still just don't have enough offense. They're unbreakable, but they're still losing so many wounds a turn because they only have heavy armor.
Unbreakable is worth it. If you could make that unit consistently unbreakable, the thing is, as soon as he dies, they're no longer unbreakable. They are stubborn, but then they're also not really worth taking.
Yeah, I believe all he has is a 5-up armor save as well. Yeah, 5-up armor save.
Yeah, they're the Blackguard are toughness through the 5+ armor save, and with this guy in them, even if he never died, they would essentially be flagellants with a 5+ armor save.
With a 5+ armor save, pretty much.
And that's not worth it.
Yeah, and
they would have less strength than the flagellants too on the first turn, by the way.
His item, it is it's literally a halberd that's a great weapon.
Oh.
It's just he doesn't always strike last. It's +2 strength. I don't know why they even
You
gave
can
him a
just
name.
get that from the common magic items.
Exactly.
And you don't need two. You don't need 2 weapons to do
Yeah,
that.
close combat attacks with
weapons.
Crimson Death will result at +2 strength. Yeah.
So he's strength 6 because he's base strength 4. So he's strength
Yeah.
6 and he's initiative 7, weapon skill 9.
Yeah.
The redundancy here is staggering. So at least most people will hit him on 5s,
Yeah.
except for people with weapon skill 5.
Yeah.
So there is that. I mean, like that's his one defensive thing.
It can be considered defense, yeah.
And what else is
magic
there?
armor grief, it's heavy armor, so 5+ armor save. Each time a model makes a successful to-hit roll against him in close combat, the model that struck the blow immediately suffers a strength 5 hit.
See, he's somewhat defensive then.
Yeah.
Because, like, you try to hit him, you'll suffer strength 5 hits
Yeah.
before they roll the wound.
Yeah, so, I mean, as
'Cause it
long
says
as you get
immediately.
hit at all,
Yeah,
then he does the attacks back.
So it will keep him alive a little bit longer because he'll kill people that try to attack him.
Yeah, kill everyone who tries to attack
That's
him.
kind of entertaining. But the thing is, he's a good buffer for a unit you don't want.
Yeah. And, I mean,
Or at least we don't want.
I don't know, I would... If I took him at all, I would put him in something else.
Executioners.
The Executioners, exactly.
He's strength 6, re-rolling hits initiative, and initiative 7 in Executioners. Yeah, you take the Blackguard captain in the Executioners.
In the Executioners, exactly.
It makes them stubborn.
And we have...
Yeah, actually, I would recommend that. If you're gonna... that would actually
He's
be...
stubborn, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a decent hero to take for the Executioners.
And he's not super expensive. He's just shy of 200 points. So
yeah, you're wasting the points on his rule that makes Blackguard unbreakable, but he's not a bad hero in and of himself.
And wasting your points on the fact that he just has a +2 strength weapon.
Yeah, but can't get an armor save to compensate for it. But,
hey,
that's the thing is like...
It's a stubborn hero. Stubborn heroes are always useful.
Yeah,
That's just plain and
for a hero, you can't get the +2 strength sword and stubborn in your hero slot. So there's that.
So he has that, yeah.
So, yeah. And he has the attacking people that try to attack him. I find that entertaining. It's just like, oh, I'm going to kick your ass.
It's like, you're going to attack me? Okay, take some hits.
More combat rest for me?
Tullaris Dreadbringer.
Is this another hero?
Yeah, there's another hero. This is the, I believe this is the Executioner hero.
They have a lot of heroes.
Yeah, they have a lot of heroes. Yeah, this is the Executioner hero.
Initiative 7, leadership 9, weapons skill 6.
Yeah. And he gives your unit frenzy, so Executioners already only get 1 attack, so he can give them 2 attacks of strength 6, which is okay, but again, frenzy, there's always that risk.
I do not like frenzy.
And his magic items is just the weapon. He will have his 5+ armor save. He probably has just...
He's probably really cheap, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's really cheap. Anyway, his weapon, it is a great weapon, so +2 strength, always strikes last, and wound rolls of 5 or 6 benefit from killing blow.
Yeah, that's not too bad, but it's not...
He's pretty basic. He's pretty...
He's the cheapest of the named heroes.
Yeah.
He's still not within range of like what you could get for just a normal hero, though. Like, you get a Battle Standard Bearer and equip him with 50 points of magic items, and he's still cheaper than that.
Yeah,
and
really.
better for your unit, so...
Yeah, exactly. It's just... That really is it. You get your hero, you give him a great weapon, because this guy has it anyways. It's like... Killing blow on 5 or 6? The unit does that on 6s, whatever.
Yeah. If you want killing blow, you've got... Especially if you take a horde of executioners, I've got 39 attacks, plus the champion, so 40 attacks.
And it's not hard at all to get frenzy in this army. It really isn't.
Yeah, you'll be getting it from the free Cauldron of Blood anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Not free. You're paying points for it, but you're having it. You're obviously having it.
It's like the Skull Cannon for the demons. You want this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, on to the lords.
Yeah.
Malekith, the king of the
Witch King. We're going with the Witch King?
Yeah, going with the Witch King of the Dark Elves.
The Witch King of so expensive I can't take him without anything.
He's just over 500 points without his dragon.
Yeah, with the dragon, he's one of the most expensive characters in the game. In order to take him, what was it? Yeah, what would the points have to be? It would have to be level for 4,000.
He is absolutely absurdly good, though. He has a couple synergies here, which I like.
You can take him without his dragon in a normal lore.
Obviously, he has eternal hatred. He hates everything.
Yeah.
He has fear himself and immune to psychology. And he's a level 4 wizard with that +1 to cast.
Yeah, he's a level 4 wizard, and if he rides anything, he's got like a 2+ armor save.
He can only take dark magic, though.
Yeah.
So...
They don't have lore master for any of their heroes, or for any of their lords.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Even this guy didn't. He created the fucking lore.
Yeah, he created dark magic.
Well, actually, his mom did. But yeah. What else has he got?
All right. So.
Oh, his inspiring presence.
Yeah, his inspiring presence is 18 inches or 24 if riding his really, really expensive dragon.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have rules for the dragon as well. He has the same thing as a regular dragon, except +1 attack.
I think you pay pretty much the same amount of points as a regular dragon.
Yeah, it's the exact same amount of points. So you get a champion dragon for the same amount of points if you're playing like a 5,000 point game or so. Yeah.
He's got Destroyer.
Destroyer, his weapon. So it's a magic weapon. At the start of every close combat phase, all enemy models in base contact with Malekith must reveal their magic items. And then, so, yeah, you reveal your items, he'll choose to attack. If Malekith scores 1 or more hits against a model with any magic items, roll a d6. On a 4+, 1 randomly determined magic item is immediately destroyed and cannot be used further in the game. And you don't include mounts, things, consumables, down spells that are broken.
That have already been used, stuff like that.
The usual that they have on that stuff. And it's not for every hit, it's just you roll once for the 4+, and then you destroy a random magic item, not one of your choosing. And here is where the synergy comes in. His armor. Armor of Midnight, it's heavy armor, so 5+ armor save, as well as a 2+ ward save against all non-magical attacks. So if you're destroying their weapon, suddenly they don't have magical attacks.
Yeah, especially if
he's
they
got
only
a 2+ ward.
if they took 1,000 point, or if they took 100 point magic item, then as a sword, like they took 100 point magical sword, and it's just like broken.
It just kills it. Then yeah, they're shit out of luck.
There are other ways to get magical attacks, obviously, and he has more than just that as well. He's got magic resist.
Yeah, and if he suffers an unsaved wound from an attack that has killing blow or multi-wound special rules, he will only ever suffer a single wound.
Yeah, great for when you're riding on a dragon, you get hit by a cannon. I took a wound.
I took a wound. Yeah, that's actually that's certainly the thing. And he is also the only actual elf that is toughness 4.
Yeah,
like on foot, toughness 4 elf. He's
pretty
the
much
only one.
The only one in any army, pretty much.
And Supreme Spell Shield. So it's magic armor. It's a shield. It's so it'll give him the extra +1.
Yeah, and it's what magic resist 2?
It gives him magic resist 2 as well. And if Malekith is ever the target of an enemy spell that he successfully dispels, the caster's unit immediately suffers d6 magical strength 6 attacks.
Yeah, so if you're going to try to cast on him...
Not only does he have an absurd ward save...
You need to be in a unit so that your wizard doesn't take d6 hits.
Yeah, because that wizard will die if they fail, if he dispels it. And I mean, he is a level 4 wizard, you know?
Yeah.
And last item is the Circlet of Iron. It's an arcane item. Once per magic phase, yours and your opponent's, Malekith can use the Circlet of Iron to add a single bonus dice to any of his failed casting or dispel attempts. This bonus dice can contribute to an irresistible force. So he just gets
a free dice.
A free dice every magic phase.
And you roll it after you've rolled your dice.
Yeah, so it's not just a channel. It's just like, oh, I failed to dispel that. Get a free dice.
Yeah. And so that's good. It's very good. It's one of the best arcane items, I think.
Yeah.
For his stats, he's not weapon skill 10. His weapon skill 8, ballistic skill 7, strength of 5, which is good because his sword doesn't actually give him any bonus to strength. So the way to deal with a character like this is to get a 1+ armor save in contact with them that has nothing magical.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just let him beat against a steam tank all day.
Just charge him with like a great weapon or something.
Steam tank.
Steam tank, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, beat on this all day.
Yeah, so he is a very good hero though, because he's very hard to kill. And,
he's tough, super tough to kill.
And yeah, but you're definitely paying for it.
Yeah, he is
yeah, he's over 500 points.
That's it's not Archaon territory quite yet, but I think you can give him a you can give him a mount.
You can give him a cold one actually, or a cold one chariot.
Yeah, you can give him a cold one or a cold one chariot, and those will both be just under the points you need for 2,500. So you can give him a cold one and a cold one chariot in an actual army. The dragon, not so much, ever.
Yeah, that dragon is only for super mega battles.
Yeah, and then his mom.
His mother Morathi.
The original Dark Caster.
Everybody likes this model.
Yeah!
Yay! Boobs.
So, yeah, she's a level 4 caster. Her special thing is she has 3 lores she can choose from, and she can actually choose the amount of spells that she wants in either lore.
Yeah, so she is a level 4 wizard who uses a spell from Death, Shadow, and Dark, and she can generate all of her spells from the same lore or from 2 or more of the above lores in any combination. You don't choose these spells. It's like, I want to generate like 1 in Dark, 1 in Death, and 2 in Shadow.
Yeah, and then you randomize.
And then you roll for them. But it is nice. She has the options there, especially since Death and Shadow both have good signatures.
Yeah, and they have good synergy with the Dark Elf list, too. So you roll at least 1 in Death to see if you get that negative leadership if you're trying for a leadership bomb on
Yeah. And then, she has all the always strikes first, hatred, blah, blah, blah. And she's riding a Pegasus. I think she's automatically riding a Pegasus. Yeah. She can't not be in a Pegasus. And,
she actually has some combat stats, too.
Yeah, she's okay in combat, but
She has 3 attacks, yeah. She's kind of a combat caster.
Yeah,
she
and
does
she
have
has +2 strength on the charge as well.
Yeah, she's got some magical stuff.
Yeah, so first, just passive rules. Enchanting Beauty. Any model, friend or foe, in base contact with Morathi at the start of each round of close combat must pass a leadership test or suffer a -5 penalty to their weapon skill until the end of the round.
Is that a regular leadership test?
Yeah, it's just a regular leadership test. This does not affect attacks that do not roll to hit, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't affect things that have immune to psychology. probably shouldn't even need to be mentioned.
Anything that is frenzy. Doesn't care about how beautiful she is.
Yeah, and it's only in base contact, and she has to be in a Pegasus, so she's not going to be in a unit anyway, so you don't really have to worry about it on your guys unless they're, right up against each other in close combat. Yeah.
But the with weapon skill 5 and a negative 5 to somebody's weapon skill, even the 10 guys will stop hitting her on 3s at least.
Yeah, and very good thing here. Morathi adds +3 to all her casting attempts. Roll each time a spell is cast. Combined with Hekarti's Blessing, it's D3 +1 to all from Lore of Dark Magic.
Yeah, it's D3, right? Because you said +3. So it's plus D3 +1.
Yeah, D3.
So plus D3 +1. So that's good. I mean, that's a minimum of 2, maximum of 4 for every single spell she casts. Yeah, and she's a level 4 wizard.
Yeah, she's a level 4, so 5 for dark magic, potentially 8.
Yeah, the thing is, with only 4 spells, and the fact that she has 2 other lores that she can dabble in, like, how many spells are you going to get? You'll probably just get the 2d6 strength 5 signature, and it'll make it a lot easier for you to cast.
Yeah, a lot easier. And other rule, she has a 4+ ward save and magic resistance too, so you're not going to nuke her with spells over here. It's just not going to happen.
2+ ward against magic. Is that it?
No, she has her sword.
Right.
She has paired weapons, so that does give her 4 attacks.
Yeah.
And hits from this weapon have Killing Blow and are resolved at +2 strength on the charge. In addition...
5 on the charge, though.
Yeah. Monster or character that suffers 1 or more unsaved wounds from Heartrender and the Dark Sword reduces its attack, strength, and toughness characteristics by 1 for unsaved wound. These penalties are applied at the end of the round, so not before they attack back, in which the wounds were suffered, and last for the remainder of the game.
Does it say anything about going below toughness 1?
Yeah, it's all minimum of 1.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. And she's not that expensive. She's actually within the realm of possibility for a level 4 caster. Like a level 4 elf melee caster, you can take her. Like, she's cheaper than a lot of vampire lords, even just like base vampire lords, and just she wouldn't beat them in combat. But
and I mean, with the whole unit, I mean, she'll get 7 attacks and a stomp against infantry, so that is.
And there'll be strength 5 on the charge, both of them. Like, her and her Pegasus.
Yeah,
so I mean, she could be a war machine killer. What is her 4+4?
4+ ward and magic resist 2 as well.
And she has Killing Blow, so I mean, like, you're not going to charge into a Hell Cannon with her. She's not going to win that fight. But you could charge into maybe an Ogre War Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably take on Ogre War Machines.
And, yeah, that's her thing. So, pretty good caster, decent in close combat. You really want to choose your battles, though. So
yeah. Well, she has Fly, so she can do that.
She's a bit shy of 400 points, so she's pretty expensive.
She's still within, like, your average level 4 caster. Like, most people that have big level 4 casters are around that.
Yeah, including Slan.
Yeah. So, and then there's the Witch Elf, which is...
Oh, jeez. The Witch Elf Lord.
She's just over 300 points, but she is...
She is disgusting.
Yeah, nothing defensively. You'll have to put her in a unit with Cauldron of Blood.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, she's...
Offensively.
Offensively. She has that covered. So, always strikes first, Frenzy, Hatred, High Elves, Murderous Prowess, Poison Attack. So, she's a Witch Elf Lord.
Yeah, Initiative 9, Weapon Skill 7.
She has all 3 of the Gifts of Cain. This includes the Frenzy one that causes you to charge a -3 leadership, but she is leadership 10, so you're rolling pretty decently. I think it's -2.
How many attacks does she have? She's got 5 plus the additional...
So, yeah, she has 4. Additional hand weapon, so 5.
Frenzy.
6. The rule.
D3.
The D3, 7 to 9.
So up to a max of 9.
And then she has the additional frenzy automatically. So she has 8 to 10
8
attacks.
to 10 base.
And, again, a kicker. Magic weapon, paired weapons.
Yeah.
Hits from Death Sword and the Cursed Blade are resolved at strength 10.
Yeah, strength 10.
She is practically guaranteed to wipe out a rank.
8 to 10, initiative 9, weapon skill 7, always striking first, strength 10. So she's got 8 to 10 cannonball attacks that will hit on 3s, pretty much guaranteed. Reroll those, and then wound on 2s. And since she's a Dark Elf, if she rolls any of those as a 1, she'll get to reroll.
Yeah, and
she'll wound a steam tank on 2s, and it will not have an armor save.
And her only defensive thing, which is actually part of the weapon, if a model rolls to 1 to hit whilst attacking Hellebron in close combat, it suffers an automatic strength 4 hit for each 1 rolled.
Is that if a model rolls a 1?
Yeah.
While attacking.
It's only attacking her.
You will absolutely still do it.
Yeah, you absolutely must kill her.
After after she kills like 8 of your guys, all of the remainder are going to attack her.
Yeah, she's wearing paper, so pretty much definitely want
toughness 3, 3 wounds.
Yeah, she has her 3 wounds.
Toughness 3 wounds, no armor save, no ward, not without the Cauldron of Blood.
Yeah, you would want both of them, and her talisman. Dispel attempts made against spells that target her unit receive a +4 bonus to dispel.
Yeah, so the thing that you're going to see often, and it's because it's good, is a unit of 40 Witch Elves in a Horde with a Cauldron of Blood and Hellebron.
Yeah.
So they get all of the bonus, they get like the double frenzy, they all have a 5+ ward except for the Cauldron who's a 4+, and if anybody dares to actually attack your unit, Hellebron will just make way and murder them.
There's a good chance she will just flat out murder Archaon even, assuming he fails some ward saves.
The wards kind of
yeah.
cancel that out. Archaon would probably laugh in her face.
Because he's Archaon. But he's like double the points.
Yeah, almost. She's 200 points cheaper, so I mean, like, there's that.
Yeah,
she's actually I think he is just about double.
Yeah, she's actually just over the points cost up a slam, but she's your ultimate kill everything hero.
The thing is with big frenzy units, especially with like a chariot in it, some of your best counters to a large frenzy unit is to charge it with something it can't kill in one turn but will beat in the rear. And so you charge it with like a scouting unit of 10 archers or something like that. You put them in like a single line formation, so they only get 3 people that can actually attack the thing, and you charge them in the rear. And so against Witch Elves, just normal Witch Elves, they would get 9 poison attacks against these guys, so they have no potential of getting rid of everything. With Hellebron in the unit, she just makes away, murders those 10 guys, and then they're on their way.
Yeah, honestly, if you feel like it, and if you really want to get your points worth out of her, just charge her into a unit of knights. She's likely to just kill 10 of them.
Yeah, straight out. She can go, yeah, you can just go by yourself.
Yeah, just go have fun. Make your points back for me.
A unit of knights would not pay for her, though.
Yeah, well, I mean...
30... It depends what kind of knights.
Yeah, because, I mean, 30 points is usually a heavy cavalry sort of average.
Yeah, that is
and if it's Chaos Knights, I mean, they don't get any more protection than
any
other
they're worth
knight.
a lot more than
yeah,
30
they're 50 points.
Yeah, so... they would still have to, she wouldn't be able to earn her points with just 10 attacks.
Yeah, because you would have to hit with everything.
But it's unlikely that 2 people would be able to kill her unless they were Chaos Knights. And then then they would have been then she would have earned her points.
Yeah, then she would have earned her points. So, last lord here is Malus Darkblade, which is the novel guy.
Yeah, it's from comics as well, I believe. Novel and comics.
Yeah.
And he's not too bad.
He's... I don't really like him, but we'll go through it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's riding a cold one. He's an elf on a cold one.
Yeah, so toughness 4.
He's really just your basic elf. He has 1 more attack than a Dreadlord, I think. No, he's a Dreadlord on a cold one.
Yeah. Dreadlords are initiative 8?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Dreadlord on a cold one. And his cold one does not suffer from stupidity.
And he makes other cold ones not suffer, right?
Yeah, if he's in the same unit.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
And oh yeah, and his cold one also benefits from eternal hatred. He has eternal hatred. So yeah, the cold one he has will have 3 attacks and will be re-rolling hits.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And so will he against anything that has ASF, because he'll get it anyway.
So yeah, and yeah, so he has this thing called, another rule called Zarkan, which is the demon.
The demon blade, yeah.
Yeah, the demon residing in it. It's not even his blade, it's just a rule for his, so you can't break it. It's just a passive rule.
Oh, okay.
And Malus Darkblade may unleash the power of Zarkan at the start of any friendly movement phase, so it's like kind of like a potion.
Movement phase.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once the demon is released, he cannot be bound back during the battle. If Malus releases Zarkan, the following rules apply for the rest of the game. Malus Darkblade immediately gains Frenzy. So there's that, he gets an extra attack.
Yep, so that's 5.
And then Malus Darkblade increases weapon skill, strength, toughness, and initiative by 1. I don't know why they added toughness in there, because it's like, oh, he's the equal toughness of the cold one, what he had anyway.
Oh, yeah, there's that.
So
it's too bad, toughness 5
So
would be
it's
nice
pretty
one.
much, you pretty much get it for his +1 strength, because his weapon skill is already absurd, his initiative is already absurd.
Yeah, because he's an elf. But Unleashing the Blade brings him to strength 5. Or Unleashing the Demon brings him to strength 5. What else does he have?
He's got the, to hit roll a 1, he attacks his own units, with no armor saves allowed because of his sword.
Does his sword ignore armor saves?
Yes.
Okay.
So, he's Honestly, I would never use Zarkin because you have a chance of hitting your own unit. You get +1 strength pretty much in Frenzy. So you get an extra attack and strength.
He still ignores armor saves either way, right?
Yeah, he ignores armor saves either way.
For this points cost, though, you could just get a Dreadlord with the ignore armor save sword.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, yeah, you can even mount him on a Cold Blood. You can make him the exact same as this guy, except better.
Except better, yeah. You could actually give him magic items that you would want.
Yeah, and magic...
And your cold ones would still be, like, subject to stupidity, but again, if with a leadership of 9 base, they're probably going to pass those stupidity tests.
Yeah, and he rerolls wounds. Like, that's the other thing about his sword, and you cannot make armor saves against it. So it's like...
Reroll wounds is nice.
Reroll wounds is nice, but it's not worth, like, above 100 points, which is what this guy's getting into the territory of.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think he even has a 1-up armor save, which would be really, really easy to do. Heavy armor, Sea Dragon Cloak. He's got a 2-up.
He still has a Sea Dragon Cloak.
Yes, but he has a 2-up instead of the 1-up that you could get easily on your Dreadlord.
Is that the last of the characters? Is that all of them?
Yeah, that's literally all of them. That's the whole book. We did magic items and magic as well.
Yep, we did. That's excellent.
So opinions and army composition.
Yeah, army composition. Well, we were talking about it before, and I convinced you that I wouldn't take Witch Elves.
Yeah, Witch Elves, they just don't have, like...
For that killer Witch Elf unit that you will see, guaranteed somebody's going to take it, the 40 Witch Elves with the Cauldron of Blood and Hellebron, it's nearly 1,300 points.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost half of your army.
Very expensive unit.
Some of that is core, so you
gotta be taking up your core.
There's core heroes and lords in there, but it's 40 models, and they're toughness 3 with a 5+ ward. That's it.
Yeah.
You go up against what I would take, which would be 2 units of repeater crossbows with 4 Reapers and the Cauldron, which is way cheaper.
You just park it right in the middle of all that, so they all reroll.
Yeah, so they all reroll, and they will murder those Witch Elves before they ever get anywhere near them.
Yeah, and I mean, like 20 on each end of. So 40 of the crossbows is not going to fill out your core, but that's what Dark Rider's for. They also have repeater crossbows.
Yeah,
and they aren't expensive.
Or you can take Corsairs.
You can redirect with them.
The thing about the Witch Elves is if you're not taking them with if you didn't take Hellebron. And you would always, but if you didn't take Hellebron, the Corsairs would be able to fight evenly, like they're the exact same points as Witch Elves, they would be able to fight evenly, and I would personally think win against Witch Elves.
Yeah.
Because they have a 4+ armor save that the Witch Elves don't penetrate at all.
Yeah.
The Witch Elves only have 1 additional attack, and if you put them both in a horde formation, like 40 versus 40, the Witch Elves only get 10 more attacks. They have no armor save, and they have poison attacks, and that's it.
Yeah.
But when you're rerolling 1s anyway for your hits, for your rerolling 1s for your wounds, you only fail a wound on 2s and 3s.
It's like they're good at killing goblins and Skaven. Like that's way too many points for it. Even. They'll probably lose combat against equal points.
That unit is very good at combat, and the thing about them is that they're very susceptible to strength 3 shooting.
Yeah.
Right? So the more strength 3 shooting or poison attacks you get, the worse that unit does, especially when your opponent evades them. As I was saying before, the main counter to Frenzy, they are actually immune to, because of Hellebron.
Yeah.
Like, your easiest counter for Frenzy is to just lead that unit around by the nose so they can't do shit. The thing about them is what was Hellebron's leadership, 10?
Yeah,
Probably.
she's leadership 10.
So they get the -3 for the not charging. It'll be a 7. You can put a BSB in that unit and make it it would again put the points up to 1,500. But you can put a BSB in that unit, give him 1+ armor save with a 4+ ward, and he's never gonna get killed by those D6 strength 3 hits from the Witch Elves. He doesn't give a fuck. So they can pass those leadership tests if they want to. Maybe, because it's a leadership 7 with a reroll. That's not very good. That's human leadership. So you can always do the put your unit of, rather than the unit of 10 archers charging in the back and having them flee, or having that unit flee and then the Witch Elves pursuing them because they have to pursue because they have Frenzy, you can instead park them in front of the unit, have that unit either be forced to charge or charge to get the unit out of the way because they can't move because the unit's in the way, and so then when that happens they murder the unit and are forced to overrun somewhere where they don't want.
Yeah, you could charge them in the back with scouts, run them off the table and just laugh because there's so many points that aren't doing anything for 2 turns.
Yeah, and that's if you don't have a shooting army. If you have a shooting army, you're just this is the best army ever.
I'll shoot at this all day.
Yeah, you got 5+ ward. I go up against people that have way better armor saves than that. You've got a better armor save in your army for the same points.
But yeah, then again, the the regular Dark Elf, just regular warriors aren't really worth it, so you'd always take just Dark Shards. Get a lot of shooting in there.
Yeah,
they're very good.
You might as well. The Corsairs are not bad. It's a 4+ armor save in core. That's pretty rare for almost any army, really.
Yeah, and I mean, you can get
and
them
it's with additional hand weapons.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, 4+...
So they get one less attack than the Witch Elves, but, then you add the Cauldron and blah, blah, blah.
And a 4+ armor save and all that sort of stuff. So, I mean, like, the Cauldron is a take. Absolutely. Like, there's no doubt about it. You don't bother giving the Witch Hag any items because she's just gonna die.
You still have the Cauldron.
Yeah, even with the 5+1
it can still move
on
in
top.
March outside of a unit and join any unit, so yeah.
Yeah, so for core, I would say you want at least 2 units of... if we're talking about 2,500 points...
which is regular tournament
Yeah,
level.
regular tournament. You want your core to be the repeater crossbowmen. You don't want to fill it all with repeater crossbowmen because you'll actually run out of deployment.
Yeah, and I mean, you certainly have options. You have Dark Riders. You could take 2 units of 5 of them. They're cheap enough to be throwaway units. They can also shoot.
Yeah,
and they have ridiculously good movement.
Yeah, if you give them repeater crossbows, then just the 5, which is the base amount, will be...
And yeah, they'll have that
10
4-up
shots.
armor save as well, which is
If you give them
good for
shields.
fast cavalry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you give them shields.
yeah.
And that, yeah, they would still be well within the points cost of expendable unit. Like,
Yeah.
you can still absolutely charge them into something frenzy-wise.
Or just park them in front of the Juggernauts. You don't want charging your core or something
Yeah, or
like
whatever
that.
it may be. And as fast cavalry, they can actually voluntarily flee, and then if they rally, then they can just continue to move.
Yeah.
So the Dark Riders are a good choice. With the reduction in points costs, they are totally, I'd say, valuable. Shades are interesting, and I would probably take...
Those are in the special, though, but yeah.
They are in special, yeah. And we're, like, talking about core, I think, like, Witch Elves will happen, and it is a
Yes.
strong unit. You will go up against it. It has easy counters. Not magic, because Hellebron gives them the +4 to dispel. You're not going to be able to easily
Yeah, they'll have
hex.
a 5+ ward, and then the magic resist 1 again from the Cauldron, so
Yeah.
you'd have a 4+ ward.
And shooting armies won't care. Close combat armies, I was thinking how my Beastmen would deal with it, and it's a lot more difficult for them, because they have nothing that could charge and live long enough to flee. It will just get fucking murdered.
Yeah.
All of their expendable units would just get wiped. You charge it with a chariot, that chariot will get its ass kicked by Hellebron. But if let's say for Beastmen, you have to just stack it all up against them.
Yeah.
Just all of your chariots all at once. They're impact hits. So
Yeah,
it
I mean-
happens before the Witch Elves even get to attack.
If you want to really do, like, kind of points and all, although Hellebron is still in there with her paper-thin armor
Yeah.
that she doesn't have, then yeah, that's a very expensive block right there. That's...
Yeah, and if you get rid of Hellebron, it's a lot easier to manage. You can still shoot at the Cauldron of Blood. The thing is, it's tough. There are some people that could do it better, but even Empire with a Hellblaster, strength 5 and its toughness 6, you're wounding that thing on 5s. That's not what you want to point your Hellblaster at,
Yeah.
especially when it's got a 4+ ward. It's just not really worth it. You could point 2 Hellblasters at that thing in a turn and have them do nothing in the way of builds.
Literally nothing.
Yeah, so you don't want to point it at the Cauldron when those same Hellblasters could have murdered the shit out of some Witch Elves.
Yeah.
So you want to prioritize the Witch Elves unless you have something that shoots multiple Strength 6 shots easily.
Yeah. They aren't going to flee, but they're... Yeah.
Or if you have really cheap Strength 6 shots, like Goblin Bolt Throwers. Goblin Bolt Throwers fire at the Cauldron all day. If you manage to get it down, bonus.
Yeah.
Or move a Mangler over it, that'd be cool.
That would be amazing. But, yeah, for, like, special, then, like, Reaper Bolt Throwers are very good, and they're the same price.
And they're special,
They're cheap.
so,
and
I
they're
mean,
special.
why
You
not
can take
take them?
4 of them.
Yeah, special is, I think, the strength of the Dark Elves, though they have good rare. It's not
Yeah.
like they're rare as shit.
Yeah, and, I mean, they have a lot of good special. You have the Cauldron Riders, which makes your elves toughness 4. They'll be strength 6 on the charge.
I love Cold One Riders. I would,
Yeah.
With the 2 attacks now, I would say, for me, they're a must.
Yeah,
They're-
like, I would
they're-
take, like, 15.
Yeah, they're
even.
they're 5 points more expensive than a Knight of the Inner Circle for Empire, and they have so much more. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like, it's a 1+ armor save for the Knight of the Inner
Yeah,
Circle. if
2
he's got a
attacks,
lance.
strength 6 on the charge. They will break things.
They absolutely they have better weapon skill. They have the always strikes first.
Yeah.
They have higher leadership. They've got higher toughness. 1 less armor, but they have like 3 attacks rather than like the 2, and one of them being weapon skill 3, strength 3, because it's a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a really good unit. And leadership 9. I mean, leadership 9. You don't have to babysit that unit.
Yeah.
Like, they
that
will-
stupidity will almost never happen.
Yeah, you can put them on a flank and not worry about it because, yeah, you'll fail a stupidity test in here or there, and it will suck, but they'll also be immune to psychology on the flanks. So they can take as much damage as they want, and they're not going to run away. They will get you their flank charge.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, them and the chariot, obviously the same.
I love the chariot. The chariot's even better because it's toughness 5.
However, it does not get the strength 6. That is the only issue with it.
Yeah,
but it gets impacted.
It doesn't
so,
get strength 6 on the charge because they've got spears rather than lances.
Yeah, spears rather than lances. But
it's strength 5 on the charge.
Yeah, and it's still toughness, very good toughness, and it's cheap. Man, is it cheap?
Yeah, it's completely reasonable. It is also a great flanker because it's also immune to psychology. So immune to psychology because of stupidity, and on leadership 9. So I mean, they still have the leadership of 9. I love anything that's toughness 5, and toughness 5 in an elf army,
and a 3+ armor save.
Yeah, toughness 5, 3+ armor save, cheaper than Chaos Chariot.
Yeah,
so
it wouldn't be unreasonable to take 2 of those.
Yeah, I would absolutely take 2 as my flank protection with like a Cold One Knight unit.
Yeah, and then you have another great unit in special because you. Are shades? No, the shades are rare.
The shades are special.
The shades are special,
Yeah,
and
I don't know if they're great. I would still take them because
I would take a unit 5.
I would take 5. Yeah,
because it's like, hey, I have scouts.
Yeah, they're at that point they would be the exact same price, I believe, as your unit of 5 Dark Riders, and they fill the same roles. It's just that the scouts with the great weapons would actually be a little bit better at it.
Yeah.
And they're not as expendable, and they are super squishy. They'll die to a D6 Strength 4 magic missile, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not that expensive.
And
they're throw away. They still have 10 shots. I mean,
they have their 10 shots.
They have 10 shots for 5 guys. I mean,
yeah.
And for the same price, Empire gets 10 shots as well.
Yeah.
And they're Strength 4, but they're not movement fire.
Yeah, exactly. So they definitely have their benefits, but yeah, since you're like even in this army, you have a lot of shooting, some flankers. Infantry block, executioners.
Yeah, it's actually common in this edition to have your horde. The fact that you have a horde, but to have a horde of great weapon wielders, and these ones are strength 6. So there you go.
Strength 6 with killing blow. In case you didn't wound it good enough.
Yeah.
There's some killing blow.
In case you're going against like cavalry, because they've got a 1+ armor save, and you're just like, all right, that's the only thing I can killing blow, because you'll have like monstrous cavalry with a 1+ armor save, and you're like, well, my strength 6 is still incredibly useful here.
Yeah, strength 6 will still put them to a 4+.
They're like I was saying, they're like Graveguard, except they're not toughness 4. Because Graveguard for the undead can get great weapons. They're strength 6 and they're toughness 4.
Yeah, and they re-roll those ones, so you're pretty much every time you hit, you're pretty much always re-rolling.
Yeah, they re-roll the ones,
you're pretty much always
and they strike in initiative order.
Yeah.
So they always strike last Graveguard with their +1 to hit because of a banner.
Yeah.
You know, they'll hit on 3s, but so will the elves. And they're exactly the same points, I believe.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely executioners, highly recommended as your main block.
I would actually probably take that Blackguard hero for the hero.
You think so? Just because it's cheap?
Well, actually, no.
Or the stubborn one. Honestly, I would just throw a hero in there with a stubborn crown.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is like
because you can still get them at a 2+ armor.
I would want a combat lord. Like I would want that 4+ ward.
Yeah.
With the reflect and the +2 strength. Like I think that would be my lord.
Yeah,
that's my lord, and a BSB with a 2+ armor save and a 4+ ward, or a 1+ armor save and a 2+ ward, because you can do that. Or 1+ armor save, 4+ ward with the battle standard. There you go. So those are like the 2 characters, and then if you take him. It's another in the hero. Well,
yeah, because the hero slot is also being taken up by your Cauldron and the Death Hag. So yeah,
it is. Yeah, and I don't think. I would probably not take him then. But I would probably not go for a level 4 caster. I'd probably just go for like a unit of warlocks.
Yeah, unit of warlocks for rare and
then,
that's a lot of infantry and stuff. But I mean, that's a very solid army and everything. And I mean, even if you did want to go with monsters, hydras, charybdis, they're so cheap.
Yeah, I would probably. The thing about the Hydra is I wouldn't take it because while it looks survivable, it isn't.
Yeah, it's not survivable by no means.
It's not. It's toughness 5 with 5 wounds and a 4+ armor save, and if it dies on not your turn, as in the turn it can get shot, if it gets wounded on the turn that's not your turn, it can't regenerate those wounds at the end of the...
it's only at the end of your turn.
It's only at the end of your turn. So, yeah, I wouldn't personally take it. I would think that for cheaper, the Chariot would just be better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just for charging it. Yeah, it's even the same strength. And all that.
It is significantly cheaper. It's not half, but like it. I might take 1 Hydra for a breath weapon.
Or terror, a source of terror.
What's their leadership?
Their leadership on the Hydra itself. Let's have a look.
It's probably like 8 or something.
Yeah, I would think it's 8 because it's only him now. They don't get the elves, so I think it's actually something like 7. Heroes over here.
Yeah, it's special.
6. So
6.
yeah, it's not very good.
I wouldn't take it then. It's too low. It's not immune to psychology either, is it?
No, it is not.
Okay, so I definitely wouldn't take it.
So yeah, it causes terror. And
it has its uses, but personally, I think it would die too easy.
Yeah.
What's the Charybdis? What's its leadership 6?
Yeah, it's the same thing all around, but they're better in combat, and it still has the terror and the re-rollable
It is
leadership
pretty cheap.
tests.
I absolutely would still take like if we're still on special. Yeah. Special, no harpies, never.
Not a Scourge Runner. I mean,
That's
even
so bad.
even if it's niche, they're just too many points. It's like you look at the frickin' Skull Cannon in the Demon Army, you just drool. You're like, why can't I be you?
Yeah, well, so does everybody.
Yeah, but this case especially.
It's no cannon
And I
on
mean-
a chariot, which are pretty common nowadays, but it's trying to be a cannon on a
Yeah,
chariot,
it's trying
but
to be a
it's
cannon
not.
on chariot. And
What it looks like is like, you know what we did? We put a cannon on a chariot that's also a demon. That was really good. Maybe we should have made that thing cost more, but we can't like fix that. So, well, we've got this bolt thrower, and it's not quite as powerful as a cannon, but we recognize that it's powerful. So maybe we should make this one expensive because like it's more points than it should cost. Honestly,
yeah, it's just way more points.
It's still
And
too
even
expensive.
if you put it against the High Elf one, which is comparable, I mean, granted, it's a Strength 5 bolt thrower, so not as good, but it can fly. It has its own things. It's still like 40 points less.
It's better offensively too, because the flying chariot is strength 5.
Yeah.
This thing's strength 4. It's a fucking useless
Strength
chariot.
4, yeah.
So that strength 5 is your like base standard for chariots. Strength 4 is not worth it.
Yeah, so it's just, don't take it, even if you want to pull monsters around.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to do that, take the Lore of Heavens. You can do that.
Yeah, there you go, push monsters.
Air blast.
And then you have your rare units. Doomfire Warlocks are definitely... I would definitely take
yeah,
that
I would
one.
take them. I don't say they're a must, but they are really points effective.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's the cost of a level 2 wizard with a Dispel Scroll in other armies. It's not the cost of you could only get one level 2 wizard. For the cost of a level 2 wizard in your army, you get a level 2 wizard with 5 wounds and a 4+ ward against everything that's not Slanesh.
Yeah, it's like, granted, you don't get, like, 2 spells of rolling, but the spells they get are good. It's not like they're garbage.
They're the spells that you were going to take anyway.
Pretty much.
At least one of them. They've got the 2d6 strength 5 magic missile that you would take anyway.
Yeah.
So why not? And especially, we forgot to mention that when they
yeah,
get
the
miscast, they don't roll on the chart.
they don't roll on the miscast table. They take D3 wounds instead, which you get your ward save against. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, I'll 6 dice that.
Hell yeah.
I'll boost it even, because it's not a bounce spell either. They
And
can
it doesn't
boost their
remove
spells.
dice from your power pool either. They're your most reliable casters that you'll have. Yeah, I would say I would take them over other casters.
Yeah.
If I was like, for my 2,500 point army, especially because not much else looks attractive to me, I would take 2. I'd take 2 units of 5.
Yeah.
And so that would be it for me. I just take 2 units of 5. I've got my 2 level 2 wizards. I know exactly what spells they got, and they're decent spells. Like one is a strength toughness reducer.
Yeah, it's the Soul Blight and from Death Magic. So
Yeah, strength toughness
negligible-
reducer. That it boosts your shooting, and it has a decent range. And then you got your 2d6 strength 5 magic missile that you roll 6 dice to cast. And you do not boost it because the boost is like 24 plus.
Yeah, it's 24.
So even with 6,
But these guys
6
are level
dice-
2 wizard, but yeah.
6 dice, you gotta get a 22.
You're pretty much hoping for a miscast at
yeah,
that point.
pretty much. So I mean, like,
Give me those D3 wounds.
if you get a 12 like power dice turn, then maybe.
And then you have your Sisters of Slaughter, which is another recommend. Just
Yeah.
take 10 just to
10
get rid of ranks.
10 with a standard, because with the addition of a standard, they can charge into a monster, which they're fine at dealing with, and they'll have that bonus +1 combat res and a charge, and then anything
And then
that
the
they
4+
do.
ward against any close combat.
Yeah, to
attacks.
help reduce its combat resolution. And so yeah, I'd say also with a standard, they can charge into the front of any regular infantry, and they will be on an exact even footing, except for the musician.
Yeah, just a really cheap combined charge unit. It's just really good for that. That's
Yeah,
what it's designed
the
for.
only reason it's cheap though is because we would only take 10 of them.
Yeah.
They are not actually cheap. They're the same price as Phoenix Guard, and they're only toughness 3 with a 6+ armor save outside of close combat. But you still take them because as long as one of them is remaining, he'll still get rid of the rank bonuses at the start of the turn.
Yeah.
And if your opponent's focusing enough fire on them to destroy them, then he's not reducing your attacks from your repeater crossbows or your executioners
or executioners,
or anything
yeah.
else. So
And it's
It's
like
fine.
you just flat out don't get ranks. That's very good.
yeah, excellent. Even if you only get 1 turn out of it, which is unlikely, because if there are 5 of them alive when they go into combat, it's unlikely all 5 of them are gonna die unless they're going up against more witch elves.
Yeah, so that's definitely the recommended from our point of view, but that is the entire Dark Elf Army book.
Yeah, that was from our other discussions, because originally the Witch Elf unit was quite attractive.
Yeah, it was attractive, but
we like looking at Savage Orcs or Demons,
or anything comparable.
Because there is an easy there are many units now that have 5+ wards. And the Cauldron giving them a 5+ ward is good, yeah, but it doesn't make the unit good.
Yeah. It's like they're good with the Cauldron. The Cauldron makes that unit by themselves or like any other option. And I mean, you're really paying for it. You might as well like double their points cost because you need the Cauldron.
They are okay by themselves.
Yeah.
Like when you take a unit of 10 of them, then you will get the majority of their attacks. You'll get 3 attacks each plus the 5 in the back, so 20 attacks.
Yeah.
You'll get 20 attacks and they're all poison. You just gotta point them at the right direction, and they're not that expensive either. So they are actually cheaper than the Sisters of Slaughter by quite a bit. And they would probably do a better job against a monster that didn't have an armor save, which is the same thing that the Sisters will do. But the thing is, they will not reduce combat resolution from the monster because they are paid. They have nothing.
Yeah.
So if that monster's got a breath weapon, it's like
you're dead.
They will get like I guess a regular monster. They would only get the 3, so they would still get like 12 or 16 attacks.
Yeah, it's like okay, they have poison.
And
attacks.
they have poison. It's just poison melee attacks are great, but
if you could boost their strength really reliably, then they would be a worthwhile unit. But you could just have that strength all the time with your executioners.
Yeah, the only reliable way to boost strength in any army is to do it without having to roll magic dice.
Yeah.
And that is almost non-existent. So
yeah, it's like it's one of the signatures in here, but a lot of people are going to try and dispel it, and I mean,
and it's again, it's magic dice. You don't want to depend on your magic phase for your buffs. Your magic phase should be a bonus, not something you rely on.
Not something you completely rely on. Yeah.
Yeah, especially in this edition because it's not reliable at all.
Yeah, because there's always that phase. It's like, oh man, I got all these awesome buffs, and then I roll 1 and a 2 for power dice. Great.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, that's okay. I put a lot of points into it. I'm a vampire. I can re-roll one of those and it rolls into another one.
Channels, nope. Yeah, it happens. It has happened. I'm very much aware of that.
Yeah, I much prefer the more minimalistic side to magic.
Yeah.
But we're talking about game mechanics now rather than the Dark Elf book, so I think we will end this and say thank you for watching. Yay.